welcome back to Danstew Station. Apologies again for the time taken away from the layout. As I explained in a previous kind of update video, there have been reasons for it, but as you can kind of see in the background, I have been making very good use of the time. Before I carry on with the video, I would just like to say a big thank you to everyone who watched that update, everyone who commented and sent me messages. It was very much appreciated. I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciated all the messages of support and people telling me that they were going through similar things. And it does make things a lot easier when you know that there are people out there, even people that you've never met, but you share a common bond in railways with, and yeah, that really did help. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for that. I really appreciated it. Apologies first of all as well if I sound a bit off in this video. I am just getting over a cold, not a particularly bad one, just one that's kind of affected my sinuses and my throat. So I am still a little bit throaty, hence the kind of croak and deepness in my voice. So yeah, but I wanted to do this video just to let you know the progress on the layout. So as you'll have seen from the intro video, I've had some of the trains running. I gave the tracks a good clean using my track rubber, give them all a good hoover, just basically a general good tidy up. As I said in my last update video that I was doing, I have kind of tidied up the layout a great deal. Not a lot has changed over on this side, except for one small thing that you might notice in the corner there. But as you can tell, I've just kind of been cleaning up, decluttering, moving things around, just kind of getting things where I wanted them, make this a place where I wanted to spend time. And that definitely has worked. As you can see from the background over here, a lot of things have been added and have changed. First of all, I just wanted to talk about this tunnel portal that I've made. This is from Smart Models. I do talk about them quite a lot, and I do get a lot of my bits and pieces for the layout from them. Fantastic people. We see them a lot at conventions. Really lovely people, and they make some quality stuff. This is a tunnel portal, a large tunnel portal, and as always you can print them out, make as many as you like. So I am making another one for the other section where I need a double portal. So a second one will be going here for the entrance into the tunnel over here. So that's the great thing about it. You can use it as many times as you like, and it was a lot of fun to build. But this really gave me an idea as to height and scale and things like that. Additionally, as well as that, I've also made these retaining walls. Again, Smart Models, and they will basically go the entire length of this low relief town scene. I've worked out I'm going to need about 8-10 of them, and I've made 2. So yeah, a lot of building to go on here. But the biggest improvement or the biggest addition has been this town scene that I've been working on. It's just a piece of spare wood that I had, which I've kind of attached to the back wall, and then some legs on the front. I've used it to kind of showcase off these Metcalfe figures mostly that I had built, and also these 2 Smart Model these 2 Smart Model buildings that I've built. So here I have the corner pub and a small shop which I've made into W.H. Smith. The pub I've named Chip's Bar, and it's number 27 because that is the date of my birth, and Chip has been my nickname since I was at school. The inside of that is detailed as well. I don't think you'll be able to see a great deal without the lights on. It is power to light up. But no, you can't really see inside, unfortunately. But it is power to light up, so you'll be able to see I have a little interior design going on with some people and things like that. Then we have the low relief Metcalfe buildings. The shops, which I have now finished. I only had this one to add, and I built that quite recently. And then I just kind of added the little bits and pieces and tidied it up a little bit. The cinema there, and then my garage or service station right there. The biggest thing with these is that I'm not going to be having these standalone pavements. I've made my own kind of pavements, which I'll try and focus in on now. I've made it using the technique of using polyfiller with matchsticks. I kind of really like that look. At the moment it does look like we've had a very heavy snowfall, but obviously I'm waiting for this to completely dry so that I can sand it down. And yeah, so I'll be cutting these off, the same as over here. I'll be cutting these off. I don't want these pavements, I wanted my own, so I kind of measured it to see how far I would need it, and then I've made my own pavements. I also have a pavement along the edge here, which you'll probably be able to see a bit better like this. There we go. So I've got a pavement along the side here as well. This is really, I put this long sort of pavement in here and thought, well, would anyone really use it? But then thought, well, this is going to be looking directly onto the station of the Heritage railway line. So you're going to have people kind of like lining up across there, watching the railways, watching all the trains coming and going. So it will get a lot of use. So yeah, so I kind of like it. I plan to have a few people with cameras and train spotting right there. As I say, with it being still quite white and unsanded, it is difficult to see. However, this section here is going to be a main road with another path there and across there. And this bit here is going to lead to a girder bridge, which is going to come across the railway line, across here, down to the very end. So it's going to be quite a big girder bridge, just basically to go across the 3 levels of track. There's going to be a few cars on there and bits and pieces, but it's just a way to kind of like break up the scenery before it leads to the two bridges, really. So I've been attending a couple of motor railway exhibitions, as you'll have seen from my last 2 updates. I went to Spennymoor and I also went to Hartlepool. I picked up this car. Some of you, or a lot of you, will probably recognise as the Jaguar from Austin Powers, one of my all-time favourite movies, and I do love this car. I've always wanted to pick one up, and as you can see, has the Swinger license plate on the back.
I put the car in Swinger, baby!
So as we move across to the other side of the layout, and not a great deal has changed over here. I've not really touched this area, mainly because I couldn't go any further until I picked up some of these, which is the caravans. I wanted to get these so I could get an idea of scale and size, so that then I can do some more paving across here, and then make spaces for a few more caravans, and I will pick a few more of these up. I do really like this. The caravans that I've always seen have always been those old-fashioned small bubble cars that you probably got more in the 70s, 80s, whereas this is more of a modern one, which is kind of what I was looking for. So yes, I was really pleased to find that, and a really good price as well. The great thing about it is as well, there's enough space at the front here to have a car, so it's going to be just a strip of the stone with a car parked in the front, bit of grass, and then another one. So I've probably got room there for another 3 before we get to the very edge. In one of my previous videos, someone had asked, am I going to put a road across here? My apologies, I can't remember who it was that asked me, or when it was. It was quite a while back. But yes, I am actually planning to put kind of like a hedge here to mark the end of the campsite, and then have a road with kind of like a bridge leading under there, just to kind of finish the scenery off, and then like a retaining back wall, maybe about here, just to kind of link into here, and as I said before, swoop around and finish the scenery. So yes, I am planning to have a road there. It was a really good suggestion. I had kind of, when I was making this, I did get to this point and thought, oh, a road might be quite good to finish off the scenery, and that also implies that's how cars would kind of get to this campsite. Obviously, it's only a small part of it. It would continue on this way. But yeah, I did like that idea as well, and that is definitely something I'm going to be doing. I'm not sure if I had mentioned in my previous layout update, but this section was going to have a turntable. As you can see there, the circle was where the turntable was going to be. I wasn't too keen on the idea of it in the end. My thoughts were that once you have a turntable and then you have kind of like the track going off for engines to be stored over here and maybe an engine shed, I just felt like it was going to be a bit too cluttered. So what I've gone for instead is a couple of points which are going to lead to bits of track, and this is basically going to be a depot where the carriages are going to be stored. I'm not going to have the trains stored on track. When it's not in use, the trains are going to be put away in some boxes that I have made just to keep them safe and just to keep them clean and free of things like that. But I can still use this area as a shunting yard. I can still have my shunter there. It could still come up and kind of collect the carriages and bring them to the tracks that are needed. And then my idea is that the depot where the trains are held is beyond that bridge. So I might be able to kind of have them stored up on these two sidings over here and bring them in that way. So it's kind of almost like the shunter comes in, brings all the carriages to where they need to be, then the train comes along, picks them up, and off it goes. And that's pretty much, I've always said I'm not really into shunting. I don't want to be kind of like shunting backwards and forwards all the time. I like to set the trains off and watch them run. Yeah, I wanted to add a little bit of shunting, a little bit of kind of like playability, if you like, with the layout, so that when my boys are watching it, there's something that they can enjoy seeing going backwards and forwards. But I didn't want a great deal, and I feel this kind of does quite well for what I'm after. So yeah, so I've kind of done away with that. It means as well I can do so much more with this area. I can add a couple of buildings, a little bit of scenery, couple of fun little bits and pieces, and not have to worry about storing lots of trains, lots of locos and buildings, and making it look non-crowded, you know. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing with this area. Also, you'll have noticed in the runabout video that I currently only have 2 carriages on the back of the trains, on both the Kingfisher here and the Flying Scotsman. That's because they're both still struggling to get up the inclines. The inclines are fine. They're not a deep gradient, or a steep gradient I should say. It's just really that there's no traction. The trains, or the locos I should say, themselves go up absolutely fine themselves. It's when they start getting carriages in the back that the wheels start to spin. So really all I need to do is to get some of the rubber tyres just to add a bit more grip. And I've ordered a couple of them, so hopefully that should help. But yeah, so at the moment they're pulling 2 carriages at the most. But yeah, hopefully that will definitely help. However, my main area of focus has been this low relief town, and I mean, on the whole, I am really pleased with it. I like this. I've not, as you'll notice here, I've not taken the plaster all the way to the back. Oh, sorry, I've not taken the plaster all the way to the back, and I've not taken the buildings all the way to the back. It's because I'm going to have some the back in here, but a lot of these buildings I put the wires in the back rather than on the bottom, so then I can have the back in with the wires going through the back and down the bottom. So that's kind of what I've done with that bit. But yeah, all I need to do with this is kind of sand it down, paint it, put some of the road markings on, and yeah, start to get everything wired up and the lights on, and then that's going to look really, really cool. Looking at it as well, I've realised I haven't actually got any lights in the service station, and I am going to have a couple of cars in the showroom there. So I'm going to have to, I need to take this bottom bit off anyway, because as I say, I don't want the pavement on, but I'll have to take the bottom off and then put some lights in just to kind of highlight the showroom and in the garage as well, because I suppose if they're working on cars, they're not going to be able to work in that darkness there. So yeah, so that'll be another step to do as well. So yeah, that's pretty much an update of where I'm at the moment. So I have got quite a lot done. I mean, the tunnel mouth itself and the retaining walls did take quite a lot of time to build. They do take a bit of love and care. The bar is a rebuild as well, because I did have one originally, but it just didn't come out right. It didn't look right. It was a little bit off. It was my first attempt, and it was fantastic, and I loved doing it. But I just wanted to do it again, just to give it, that I wasn't particularly happy with the first one, the way it was done and the way I'd done it. So I just wanted to do it again. So yeah, so I've been doing the tunnel mouth, the bar, the retaining wall. I'm currently in the process of building the girder bridge as well. I've polyfilled all of that. So yeah, I've been busy. I have been busy, and it has definitely helped. I'm feeling a lot better myself, I have to say. I'm feeling a lot better, a lot more interested in doing the layout, a lot more interested in getting some bits done. Especially getting this bit done has given me that drive, because I do love this scenery. And this is the first bit of scenery I've actually attempted to make. And overall, I'm pleased with how it's looking so far. And just to start getting some paint down and to get it all looking really authentic and get some people and some lights and some bits and pieces, yeah, I'm really excited. Once the traction tyres come for all the trains as well, I'll be able to have them running a lot better. The track itself is running really well so far. So I've given it a clean and a hoover down, which is why the hoover's still there. It's also November the 5th, so it's getting a bit colder in the UK now, so the radiator has come back out and is doing a good job. But yeah, that is my progress so far. I was planning to make this a couple of steps and to kind of show the sanding down of this, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this now, just so that everyone can see where I'm at, what's going on. But I will show you the progress of this retaining wall and the low relief section as I build it. As always, any suggestions, hints or comments would be very much appreciated, and I do look forward to hearing from you all again. So yeah, but that's pretty much where we're at, so a lot more to come, and I am intending very soon as well to get the big sort of section across here built. That's why I'm on with wanting to make the second bridge, so then I can have the next bit kind of built across, because I think once I've got that on and I see it all closed off, that's really going to be a good drive for me to keep going. So that's going to be the next bit to build, and in between I'll carry on with this and get some static grass. And I keep looking at this and thinking it's not fantastic. I keep to and fro about the colour on the wall, the brickwork as well. But I know once I start getting some more grass on there and some more static grass and get it designed a little bit more, it's going to look great. So just a case of keep on going. So yeah, so that's it. So I hope you enjoyed, everyone. Take care, and I will see you all in the next video.